You are listening to Chapter 2, Lesson 1 of Form 3 African History. Cameroon General Education. Narrated by Wacheseh Academy. African Reaction to Imperialism. European colonies, European colonial policies, and the main features of colonial policies in Africa. Economic features. Positive. They introduced a cash crop economy. Cash crops such as rubber, oil palm, cocoa, etc. were cultivated in plantations. They introduced mining industries in Africa. Minerals such as gold, iron ore, copper, diamond were mined and that influenced the Africans to understand the value of minerals. They developed transport infrastructure such as roads, railways, bridges which eased movement, trade, and exploitation of raw materials. They introduced a monetary economy that replaced trade with a barter. They introduced communication networks, such as telephone systems, postal services, which increased contacts between people. Negative. The exploitation of agricultural raw materials for export revenue and development of Europe. Discouraged African technology, made the Africans heavy consumers of European products. Dominated import and export trade, destroyed the African middleman monopoly, bought African raw materials at very low prices, and imposed their manufactured goods. Refused to open manufactured industries in Africa, but promoted agriculture. They subjected Africans to forced labor in the plantations, construction projects, etc. They promoted development mostly in areas suitable for European settlement, mostly along the coast, bringing unequal development. They imposed heavy taxes on the Africans to raise colonial revenue to construct roads, railway, etc. Social. Positive. They introduced modern scientific methods of healing and preventing diseases. They established schools and training centers that reduced illiteracy and ignorance. They constructed modern houses, streets, as well as providing water and electricity. They suppressed the slave trade and other inhuman cultures such as the killing of twins. Human sacrifice. They spread Christianity, which helped to liberate some Africans who were imposed Islam against their wishes. They helped to suppress paganism, and that helped in the improvement of the moral standard of the people. They brought recreational and social facilities like football, lawn tennis, etc. to the people. Negative. They destroyed native culture, discouraged polygamy, African religion, etc. They discouraged local languages and imposed their language as the official language. They encouraged social ills such as prostitution in urban areas and the spread of diseases. Political. Positive. They merged African kingdoms and formed modern African states. They restored law and orders and reduced intertribal wars. Many tribes were reconciled. They modernized the African traditional system of government, such as making native courts pass more humane judgment, keeping proper accounts by the native treasury. Trained Africans on the parliamentary system of government. Negative. They destroyed African empires, African lost their independence and sovereignty. They deprived African traditional rulers of their judicial and political powers. They defined tribal and national boundaries without taking into consideration the language and ethnic composition of border tribes. They adopted divide and rule tactics, which prevented united fronts against the Europeans.